Well, after it appearing like the move for Ben Johnson was off because of the fact that he seemed more interested in going to Crystal Palace in the English Premier League, it now seems that this move could be back on for Rangers, according to a number of sources in this morning's papers. Ben Johnson, who is a right back, a very talented right back who has got English Premier League experience, seems to be interesting Rangers a great deal. And this story is one that has gone away and then come back again. So, the likelihood of it being a positive link and a true link seems that little bit higher because of the fact, like I said, that it's one that's gone, come back, gone again, and come back again. It's one that has repeatedly come up. Now, Johnson is not out of contract until the 30th of June. Once we pass out of June into July, he will then be available on a free transfer. So obviously meaning that Rangers will only have to pay wages and the signing on fee, which automatically makes him very attractive to the club. Now, it seems over this window so far that from the links that we've seen, we've seen the links to Rahmani, who's a striker, but the majority of links and obviously the only signing have been in the defensive area. Hefte, obviously signed left back. We'll look at a little bit more depth at him in tomorrow's video. The links to Gadalmes, to Cordoba. There does seem to be more of a focus on the defence. Clermont does seem to want to rebuild his defence. So, all essentially positive on that thing. And I think we can all quite categorically state that we do need to substantially reinvent our defense. It is not the best. And I think, the fact that we were one of the most successful defense for a long period of time before they overtook us was down very much largely to that work done by Jack Butland between the sticks. So, look, we know that obviously James Tavernier, he's got a couple of years left on his contract, unfortunately, and he's likely to want to stay next season because it's his testimonial year, putting himself before the club. But look, for me, you've got to be looking at getting rid of Tav, getting rid of Goldson and really restarting. As I said on the video this morning, if, game one next season, you've got Goldson and Tav starting, we've got substantial problems. Now, people stating on social media and people criticising me saying, well, if you think Tav's the problem at a club, you've got issues. Well, no, I'm not saying Tav is the problem. I'm saying Tav is part of the problem. That's what I'm saying. He's part of the problem. His record as a Rangers captain is shocking. His record against Celtic is shocking. Yes, his own personal records in terms of his goals and his assists are good, but his record when it actually matters against Celtic and in winning trophies is one of the worst in Rangers captain's history. So, moving back to Ben Johnson for a moment. This is his stats from this past season. Now, he made 14 appearances in the Premier League, 4 appearances in the Europa League, 2 appearances in the FA Cup, 2 appearances in the EFL Cup, and 2 appearances in the EFL Trophy. That's because English teams are allowed to enter their B teams, their under 21 teams, into the Football League Trophy in England. He has 1 assist, that coming in the EFL Cup. Overall last year, 25 appearances and got 1 assist. He played over 1,000 minutes of football, 539 of those coming in the Premier League, obviously at the highest level in the best league in the world. So look, that is all very good. The stats there are good. He is seen as being a very promising, very good young player who does bring experience to the party. Certainly a sort of player that Rangers should be looking at, not to be confused obviously with the Canadian athlete who cheated at the Olympics, took those drugs and did break the world record. Johnson is 24 years old. He is just slightly over 6 foot. He has a market value of around €8 million. But like I said, that is not something you're going to have to pay because he's out of contract. So obviously that is something automatically with the fact that, yes, we do have to pay signing on fee and wages. You are making a profit instantaneously on this guy. If he can go on to, be successful and continue to develop at the age of 24, there's every possibility of that happening. Players between the ages of sort of, 16 and 27, 28 do continue to develop and get better. Once they pass over that 30 boundary, they don't seem to make the improvements. Of course, there is the odd example which disproves that statement. He has played also for his England 21s. He's made 10 appearances for England 21s in the past. He is a right back. He can also play left back. He is primarily a right back, though. He is right-footed. At one point, he did have a highest market value of around £12 million. So, he is someone who has the potential to go on to earn the club an awful lot of money. He came right through the West Ham youth system, starting with their under-18s. the youth system, obviously then under 18s, then under 21s, before progressing to the full team. West Ham, of course, going through a period of uncertainty with the fact that David Moyes has left the club, which I think was pretty stupid from West Ham. I think they're getting ideas above their station there. But look, at the end of the day, Johnson is out of contract. He's going to be on a free. Very talented, strong defensively, good going forward. Certainly, the ability to defend is something we need in a right back, something we have not got at this moment in time in Tav. He's not a very good defender. Anything we can do to really move this team on has to be looked at as a positive. Now, I know what a lot of you will be saying is, yeah, but we've got Dujon Sterling. I mean, I think the thing is now that I don't think Philippe Clement sees Dujon Sterling as primarily a right back. I think he knows he can play at right back if we need him to, but I think more so he sees him as a midfielder, stroke winger. That's he's even talked about that in press conferences about seeing him as more of a forward player rather than a defensive player. And in fact, in his youth career, he did actually play up front for a period of time and in midfield. So look, with Sterling I think personally looking better in midfield and also out wide, rather than in defence, I think a move for someone like Johnson would be a very big positive for the club. This is the sort of player we need to be looking at: young, enthusiastic, up and coming, talented. It's got the ability to defend and attack, which is what Tav can't do. This is what we need to do. This defense does need a rebuild. So, the links to obviously signing Hefte to add hopefully to Ridvan, going out and getting someone hopefully like Gadalmez and someone else to play in central defense, getting someone like Johnson. It's all about rebuilding this team. Obviously, Balogun as a squad player, Leon King as a squad player, John Suter as a squad player, and hopefully getting rid of Tav and Goldson. All very positive for moving this club forward in the defense and making that defense sound. Because let's face it, whatever you're doing, whether you're building a house, a business, whatever you're building, and certainly a football team, foundations are vitally important. The defense is the foundation of any team. And it's quite clear Philippe Clement wants to get that foundation right. Well, guys, let me know what you think of this prospective link to Ben Johnson. Personally, I think it's a good move if we can get it across the line. There is opposition from Leeds United in the Championship and another couple of Championship clubs like Southampton, I think, Premiership club Southampton, who are also interested. But you never know, guys. The lure of Ibrox of over 50,000, the lure of European football is another big one. Obviously, we have to never underestimate. Thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation, guys. Please obviously smash that sub, help you obviously to keep on top of all the content over the summer. We are going nowhere. We'll keep you up to date with all the latest goings on from the club. Hopefully is what is going to be a very busy summer. Remember, we're on all those places on social media as well. Please check those out. Well, thank you again for watching. As always, on the way out, there's two things I always ask of you. Number one is please smash that like. It defeats the algorithm. And number two, please remember always, we are the people.